New Orleans.
We've been talking about past matchups all week between LSU and Alabama. I still remember vividly the 2010 matchup, which T-Bob was on the field for. Out of halftime, I believe it was the third play out of halftime, Jordan Jefferson hits a streaking Ruben Randall across the field. Randall takes it 85 to the house. If you watch the replay on LSU's sideline, there's a former player sprinting with Randall about the last 30 yards, waving a towel in the air the whole entire time. That's Booger Mcfarland really running step for step with Rube. Boog, you think you can still run like that?
The key is not can I still run like that. The key is do I want to run like that? Yeah. The answer is no.
You opened it up that day, Randall, and then the Tyrann Mathieu punt return against Arkansas. How big is this game for LSU on Saturday night? And is this the year that LSU potentially could get over the hump?
Well, I think it's a big game for a number of reasons. I think that LSU right now is in really good shape. 7-1 after 8 games. I think when you look at the team defensively, the team is really playing well offensively. It's been sporadic up and down, but the offensive line is starting to play well. I think it's a big game, number 2, because it's an opportunity to gain control of the West. And I think in order to win the SEC, you're going to have to win the West in order to play for a national championship or get into the college football playoff. You're going to have to win the SEC in most cases. I think the game itself couldn't be a better game for LSU to see where they are just overall, especially from an offensive standpoint. I think Joe Burrow has done some good things. He's been inconsistent. I thought the Mississippi State game was the worst game he's played this season.
Yep.
He missed a lot of open receivers. Steve Ensminger is going to have guys open. I think if you go back to the last game, I think the last time he called plays against Alabama, there were guys open. There will be guys open. The key will be, can Joe Burrow hit those guys? So it's a big game. I mean, there's no need to come up with any extra superlatives. I think we all understand what this week means, not only in the SEC but nationally. And LSU has an opportunity to win the game. This is not a game that the Tigers can't win.
And so if LSU is going to win this game, Boog, my question to you would be, where do you think they have advantages? Like, what are the keys, the avenues that LSU would have to explore to get the W?
Well, first of all, when you go up against a team that is as equally as talented, maybe more, there are no advantages. You're going to have to out-execute. So you can't sit up here and say, well, LSU is better at this position, because guess what? Alabama's got 5-star guys everywhere.
Yep.
What you got to do is you got to show up on the field. You got to execute better. And if you go back and watch the tape the last time, as I said, Ensminger called plays against Saban, there were guys open. Danny Etling couldn't hit the side of a barn. Now, can Joe Burrow do any better? And if he can, then they're going to have to throw the football. I think traditionally we all realize it's tough to run the football against Bama. However, what you got to do is you got to be willing to settle for 2, 1, 3, 4, 6, and just keep them honest with that. And your quarterback's going to have to be able to complete passes on critical downs. And the critical down in this game is not going to be third down. The critical down is going to be first down. LSU can't become, hey, let's just run it on first down. If I'm LSU, I'm throwing the ball on first down. I'm running the ball on downs in which they think I should throw it. 3rd and 7, I may run the football, because you got to do things a little bit differently when you go up against a team and that think they know your tendencies.
Look, there's a lot of questions around this game and the storyline when dealing with Alabama. And this is the last one we'll talk to you about college. We get to the NFL. And they haven't been tested yet, so people are curious on how they're going to respond. This one's about Tua, though. Tua's got 25 touchdowns to 0 interceptions, and he looks like he's great. Like, no matter the competition, he looks fantastic. When you watch him play, what makes him great? I mean, like, what's the skill set from just watching him play that makes him different than everybody else he's had?
He's the best quarterback in college football, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. You don't have to watch any tape. You don't have to be odd. So if you're listening now, when you show up to the stadium on Saturday, he'll be the best quarterback that you see all year collegiately. I don't care what school you go to, where you watch football, what game you turn on TV. He's the best quarterback in college football. And here's why. He's deadly accurate. He understands how to read defenses, and he doesn't force the football. Now, with that being said, I think he's going to have to fit the football into tighter windows than he's had to do all year long. And, anytime you start throwing the ball in tighter windows, now there's an opportunity, once the ball is in the air, it's anybody's ball.
Yep.
And I think for LSU to win this game, two groups have to really play well. All right, two positions. The quarterback, obviously, and then LSU secondary. You want to be called DBU? Well, guess what, big boys? Hey, they're going to test DBU once again because Jerry Jeudy might be the best receiver in America. The kid from New Orleans was Dante Smith. He's a speeder. He's a guy that can get up and down the field.
The Ruggs kid can go.
Yeah, I mean Ruggs, Waddle. I can keep going on and on. Irv Smith, the tight end.
Yeah.
My point being is LSU secondary is going to have to line up and play man-to-man coverage very, very well. If you wake up Sunday morning and LSU wins, I can tell you right now, I don't even have to watch the game. If I see LSU win, here's what I'll tell you. LSU secondary played the best game of the year.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow didn't turn the football over and completed 65% of his passes. If he does that, then LSU will probably win the football game. Because this Alabama team, although they can run the ball, they're built around their best players. And their best players right now are the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Monday Night Football this week is going to come to you from Dallas. Cowboys will host the Tennessee Titans. Boog and the crew last week in Buffalo with the Buffalo Bills and Tom Brady and the Patriots. Look cold up there. Boog, who gave you the beanie?
Say what now?
Who gave you the Team USA beanie?
Yeah, you've been rocking it a lot lately.
Oh, you know what that was? So New Era's headquarters is in Buffalo, and so I had visited them the day before, and I got the Team USA beanie. You know I love golf, man. So anytime I got the Ryder Cup beanie on, I was going to wear it.
All right, real quick, let's get back down to South Louisiana. Rams Saints. Yesterday, Rams in the news. They make a huge pickup in Dante Fowler, bringing him over for a fifth-round pick in 2019, or a couple of future draft picks. What does that do to the Rams' defensive line, adding another former first-round pick?
Well, I just think it makes them more deadly. I think, if you look at the Rams, they're kind of interior heavy with Sue and Donald, and Robert Quinn left and went to Miami. So they needed an edge guy. That's where they were struggling at on the edge. And I think Dante Fowler gives them a guy on obvious passing situations that can come off the edge and rush the passer. So now what they're creating is, who are you going to double team?
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to double Aaron Donald? I probably would. So guess what that means? That means you got to block Fowler one-on-one. You got to block Sue one-on-one. And I'm telling you, hey, that's hard to do 60 snaps, man. That is hard to do. So you got to be creative when you go against this team now. You can't hold the football. So basically what they did by adding Dante Fowler is they created a situation where they can dictate one-on-ones for everybody. And as a defender, especially a defensive lineman, all you can ask for is a one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, and look, Aaron Donald's been unbelievable, leading the NFL in sacks from the interior defensive line. I mean, that's rare, Boog. I don't feel like I know when the last time that happened was. But when you look at the Saints, this is a team that doesn't give up a lot of sacks. I think like 9 on the year. Breeze gets rid of the ball incredibly fast. What do you think? Do you think that the Rams can get that consistent pressure on Breeze, or does he beat them really with his own decision-making?
Well, it's going to be give or take, and I think he's going to try to give rid of the ball quick, and then. But as the game goes on, in order to get the ball down the field, you got to hold it a little bit.
Yeah.
So if I know Sean Payton the way I know him, he's going to come out early on. He's going to try to keep him off balance. He's going to run the football on passing downs. It may be third and 10. He may run the ball to try to keep him off balance. But once the game settles in, midway through the second quarter, the Saints have to be who they are, and that means Drew Brees is going to drop back and throw the football down the field. At some point, you have to morph into who you are. Otherwise, you're allowing somebody else to dictate who you become. And so at that point, at some point, T-Bob, the fat guys up front got to block. I know you guys don't like blocking, but at some point, y'all got to block somebody.
A quarterback getting rid of the ball is like the best way to make an offensive line look really damn good. It's an offensive lineman's best friend. You're right about that.
Or the offensive line can make themselves look good and block somebody.
No, but that's much harder. Obviously, you didn't play much football. Talking to Booger Mcfarland at ESPN Booger. Boog, last year, Todd Gurley was NFL Offensive Player of the Year, and this year he's maybe even been better. He's leading in rushing yards, touchdowns, 100-yard games, carries per game. The list goes on and on. Is Todd Gurley kind of your shadow MVP so far this year?
Well, I don't know about shadow. I think right now he's the MVP of the league. He's the best player on the best team. So if the Rams are 8-0 and he's the best player and he's producing the most yards, we realize it's going to go to an offensive guy. I think right now Aaron Donald is the defensive player of the year. Todd Gurley is the MVP.
Wow.
You can give offensive player of the year to Pat Mahomes. That's up to you. But he's the best player on the best team, and they're undefeated. And if they come in to the Dome and they beat New Orleans, to me this is the litmus test for the Rams. You know, much like going to Foxborough was the litmus test for Kansas City, this is the litmus test for the Rams because the two best teams in the NFC right now are Rams and Saints.
Okay.
So if the Saints want to maybe get home field, then you need to win this game. That way, if it comes down to a head-to-head when you get home field, you need to win this game. So you're going to get the best effort from both teams because they realize what's at stake.
Yeah, it looks like the heavyweights in the NFC are just like you said, the Rams and the Saints, and then the undercard there is the Panthers and the Redskins. What do you think about the AFC side? You just saw Brady and the Patriots. You mentioned Mahomes in Kansas City. Anybody else contenders on that side?
Baltimore, just depending on which Joe Flacco shows up because they play defense so well.
You believe in San Diego?
The L.A. Chargers. I don't believe in San Diego because they don't have a team.
Yeah, my bad.
L.A.
My bad, bro.
No, I'm just messing with you. You know, it's rare I can pick up and pick on you. Normally it's T-Bob because he just leaves some stuff open, so I had to take advantage.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I agree, Booger. I'm too smart to attack, too intelligent. I agree.
Well,
good point. Great point.
Okay, no, I'm not even gonna comment on that.
Don't get lost there.
So Chiefs, Patriots, Chargers, Baltimore. I think those would be the four teams that I would lean toward right now.
Booger Mcfarland every week, brought to you by Central Plumbing Company. Think the Tigers get it done Saturday night? You think they win?
It's tough to say because I don't know how Joe Burrow is going to play. All right, if you told me that Joe Burrow that showed up early this season against Miami when he was letting it go before the receiver broke, I'd say, you know what, I'd put a little money on LSU. All right, now as a fan, as a guy who played it, you know exactly where my heart, my allegiance lies. If you're looking at this game objectively, it comes down. I'm telling you right now, it comes down to two positions. Joe Burrow's got to let it go. I saw some quotes where he said, nobody's scared. Okay, Joe, you're not scared. Let me see you let it go then. Because you got to throw the football before the guy breaks. That means on a 15-yard dig, you got to throw it to a spot before the receiver ever gets there. If he does that, LSU can be the best team in the country because they got great receivers outside, all right? The defense is playing really, really well. They got good enough runners. I mean, LSU can beat Alabama, but the quarterback cannot be babysat. Steve Ensminger has got to let it go. All right, Joe Burrow, if you go back and watch the game against Mississippi State, the game should have been a 40-point blowout.
Yeah.
Burrow missed guys all over the place. I don't know what was wrong. Maybe he woke up bad. Maybe he got a bad grade on the science test. I don't know. But he said he wasn't scared. I believe it. Joe Burrow plays the way that he said he can. LSU can win the game, and really it wouldn't be an upset because they can match up with Bama everywhere across the field. And I think the quarterback has got to play well. And the strength of LSU's team, which is for years, DBU, hey, DBU got to show up now because the guys on the other side, they can flat-ass roll now. I'm just letting you know.
Absolutely.
Boog, any in-house betting going on between any of the ESPN guys? I know like on SEC Network, there's a lot of Bama and LSU guys. Anybody got anything on this game? You've been talking any trash?
Well, here's what I did, just so you know. So being part of Monday Night Football, we get to talk to a lot of teams. So last week or 2 weeks ago, we had Atlanta. This past week we had New England. So I got a couple bets with Julio Jones and Dante Hightower. I'm just betting every Bama guy that I see, basically. That's what I'm doing. Because all these guys are rich and they got plenty of money. I like to bet guys that can pay.
That's right. Oh, they've been rich, Boog. They were rich before they got to the league. Take all their money. Go get them, bro. Have a good call on Monday night.
I'll leave that alone.
I'll see you.